Namaste students, class 12, computer science subject, unit 1, part 3, chapter 4, using Python libraries. So last class, we studied about how to use the help on module, how we can implement help command on the module. So whenever you're going to execute or encounter help, so what happens is, it will display name. So name means that will display doc strings. Next to file, so it will display module file name. Next to functions, so what are the functions used in that particular program, and then data, so that will display constants already displayed in that program. So doc strings are three doc strings used in our program in the previous one type conversion. Here first one, that is under conversion function between Fahrenheit to Fahrenheit and centigrade. And next we used two doc strings. One is under 2 centigrade and other one is under 2 Fahrenheit. So there are three doc strings, so that will be displayed whenever you're going to use help on module temp conversion. Okay, next we studied about usage of dir function. Actually dir function that gives you names of all that is defined inside the module. So what are the things defined inside the module that will be displayed here. Here freezing c, freezing f, so two constants, and built-ins. Actually built-ins are main function, or we can say top level function, and some doc strings that will be displayed, and file name, file and name, both things that will be displayed, and packages. So what are the packages used in our program, so that will be displayed, and two functions, 2 centigrade, 2 Fahrenheit. So all those things that will be displayed by using dir command. So dir, inside that parenthesis we have to specify the module name. So first thing is we have to import module name, and then dir that module name, then only it is possible, then only it will display the contents. So what are the things defined inside that module that will be displayed here. And here doc strings are represented by triple quotes in a Python module or program, which are displayed as document when help command is issued. And next one is, there are two forms or two ways to implement import statement. So one is to import the entire module, and other one is to import a particular object from the particular module. See, first one is to import entire module, means just we have to put import module name. In case if you are using math, just we have to use import space math. In case if you are using square root of math function, just we have to use from math import sqrt function or sqrt command, like this. Okay, these are about using two types of, or two ways, import function or importing. Import here, one is using entire module and other one is selecting a particular object from a module. Okay, these are about importing modules in a program. So last class we discussed about this one, and today we have to study about the function, how we can access a particular function from a module. See, in case if you are using math module, math or module name dot function name, module name dot function name, that should be defined. Here dot notation is used, that is to refer the module's object. Dot notation is to specify the module's object, math dot sqrt function, like this. After importing a module, to access one of the functions, you have to specify the name of the module and the name of the function, and separated by a dot, and the dot also known as a period. This format is called dot notation. See, dot notation, that is to separate the module name and function name. See, in case if you are using math function or object of math, math function is sqrt. Suppose if you are using sqrt, math.sqrt function. In this way we can use object dot notation. And one more thing is, see, last class we studied about we designed some module called temp conversion. Suppose if you want to use a centigrade to centigrade function, temp conversion dot to centigrade, and then we have to specify the temperature 98.6. Like this we have to use. See, temp conversion dot to centigrade. Right? Okay, these are about how to use a particular object which is pertaining to a module like this. And here it will print the name of the imported module. See, here it is given import time, print time dot name, print time dot name. Here print time dot name, so that will display time. And here you can give an alias name to imported module as import module as alias name. See, alias name means we can rename the things, not renaming actually. So we can use some other name to represent a particular module. See, using alias name, import module as alias name, import temp conversion as TC. So whenever we are using temp conversion, we can use TC. No need of the whole thing to write temp conversion. So just we can use TC. Next, namespace. Actually, namespace, actually it's a collection of names. It's a collection of names, or in general, a namespace in general is a space that holds a bunch of names. Before we go on to explain namespaces in Python terms, consider this real life example. See, in case in an interstate student seminar, for example, interstate student seminar, there are students from different states having similar names. Say there are 3 students having the same name, Nalini, one from Kerala, one from Delhi, and other from Odisha. As long they are staying in their states ward means like Kerala, Delhi, Karnataka, Odisha, like this, there is no confusion. That means if that particular student staying in Kerala ward means we can say Kerala student. If she is in Karnataka means Karnataka student, like this. Since in Delhi there is only one Nalini, calling name Nalini would automatically refer to Delhi's student Nalini. Same applied to Kerala and Odisha ward separately. But the problem arises when the students from Delhi, Kerala, Odisha states are sitting together. If they are not staying in ward, or if they are not in that particular that state ward, if they are sitting together, now calling just Nalini would create confusion. Which states belongs to? Which states Nalini? Whether it is of Kerala, Delhi, or Odisha. One needs to qualify the name as Odisha's Nalini or Kerala's Nalini, and so on. So that's why we can say namespace is a named logical environment holding logical grouping of related objects within a namespace. Its member object is referred without any prefix. Its member object is referred without any prefix or without any identification. So it is called as namespace. Let's see what's happened in next slide. Okay, processing of import module command. When you issue import module command, internally following things takes place. So what are the things takes place? Just go through that. The code of imported module is interpreted and executed. the code of imported module is interpreted, that means compiled. Okay, compiler is not there, so obviously it is interpreted and executed. Defined functions and variables created in the module are now available to the program that imported module. So after it is executed or interpreted, and what happens is defined functions and variables created in that module are now available to the program that imported module. See, in case if you are using math module, if you're going to access math module, so what happens? The code of imported module, that means math, is interpreted and executed. Defined functions and variables created in the module are now available to the program that imported module. That means square root function, sine function, next absolute function. So those functions are available to that module or available to that program. For imported module, a new namespace is set up. For imported module, a new namespace is set up with the same name as that of the module. See, for instance, you imported module my mode in your program. Now all the objects of module my-mode would be referred as my-mode.object name. My-mode.object name. If there is a function check number, then we can use, suppose if you want to refer that function, my-mode.check number in our program, my-mode.check number. So we need dot operator, or we can say dot notation, module name dot function name, module name dot function name, that should be specified. Okay. Next, these are about how to import a particular module and accessing that is allowed to access all the functions defined or all the objects defined inside that module. Okay. In case if you are using only one object, only one function from that module, then we can use from module name import object name like this. Say second one is processing of from module import object command. When you issue from module import object command, internally following things takes place. So what happens is internally some operations takes place. The code of imported module is interpreted and executed. It's in the previous session also same how to while in case if you are using import module, same thing happens. And here only the asked functions and variables from the modules are made available to the program. So we can access only asked function, that means object, import object. In case if you are using from math, import sqrt command. So what happens is now we can access only sqrt function and variables from the modules. So those two things are available to the program. No new namespace is created. No new namespace is created. The imported definition is just added in the current space. Imported definition is just added in the current space. Okay, these are about processing in two ways. One is import module command. Second one is from module import object command. Next, difference between import module and from module import commands. See this. Following code fragment illustrates this. Let us consider the module given in the figure. From temp conversion import star. From temp conversion import star. So freezing C equal to minus 17.5. So here comment also given. It will hide freezing C of temp conversion module. Print freezing underscore C. The above code will print minus 17.5. Minus 17.5. So thing is that particular value freezing underscore c equal to minus 17.5. So it will hide freezing underscore c of temp conversion module. If you change above code to the following, we made freezing c equal to minus 17.5 as a comment, see below. So what happens? See, from temp conversion, import star. So freezing underscore c equal to minus 17.5, it is taken as a comment. Print freezing underscore c. So it will result 0.0. 0.0. Here initially its value is given, freezing underscore c is given, so that's why it will print its value. Otherwise that will be hidden from the program. And in case if that particular statement is used as a comment, so what happens? Automatically it will print the default value, so that is 0.0. As no variable from the program shares its name, hence it is not hidden. It is not hidden. Okay, we'll see the next. Avoid using the from module import star form of the import statement. It may lead to name clashes. It may lead to name clashes. If you use plain import module, no problem occurs. Plain import module, no problem occurs. Say, there may be some name clashes in case if you are using from module import star. Actually, using of such things, such commands is not a sign of a good programmer. So better to avoid such things or avoid using from module import star. Okay, next. Using Python standard libraries, functions and modules. Using Python standard libraries, functions and modules. Python's standard library is very extensive that offers many built-in functions. Very extensive and offers many built-in functions that you can use without having to import any library. So directly we can use. Python's standard library is by default available. Python's standard library is by default available. So no need to import separately. No need to import any modules. Python's standard library also offers other than the built-in functions, some modules for specialized type of functionality such as math module for mathematical functions. So we can use math module for mathematical functions and random module for pseudo random numbers generation and URL lib for adding website or using website addresses from the within program, etc. In this section we shall discuss how you can use Python's built-in functions and import and use various modules and Python's standard library. See, using Python's built-in functions, the Python interpreter has a number of functions built into it that are available, always available. You need not to import any module for them. So it is built in, so we can access directly. In other words, the built-in functions are part of current namespace of Python interpreter. Part of current namespace of Python interpreter. So you use built-in functions of Python directly as function name. So directly we can access. Some example for such Python functions: input, int, float, type, length, etc. all are built-in functions. That is why you never prefix them with any module name. So module name is not required. So directly we can access input, int, float, type, length, etc. Okay, these are about using Python's built-in function. So built-in function can be accessed directly. No need to specify or no need to use the prefix of modules or module name. Next, Python's built-in mathematical functions. Python provides many mathematical built-in functions. You have worked with many built-in mathematical functions of Python in last year. Let us quickly recall those and then we shall talk about more such functions. See, LAN function returns the length of a sequence or iterable, length of within double quotes ABC. It gives 3. POW, A to the power B, when A and B are given as arguments. See here, power function can be used. Power 3, 4 gives 81. 81. Next, str function converts a number to a string. Str of 12. So what happens? It will be converted as a string. Will give 12 and str of 12.5 will give 12.4 will give 12.4. See, actually 12 is a number, but string that will be okay. It consider that particular number as a string. So 1 2 is a string. Int converts an integer convertible string to integer. If integer of 12, it gives 12 itself. So directly it will display 12. Floating point converts a float convertible string to integer. Float convertible string to integer. So 12.2 will give 12.2. Range returns an immutable sequence type. Immutable, that means it's not possible to modify or okay, here range 3, it will give the sequence 0 1 2. That is to specify the index value or subscript value or numbers starting from 0 to 2. Range is equal to 3 means 3 minus 1, so that will be taken up to 3 minus 1. Type, next function is type, returns the data type of passed argument. So if it is given 12, type within bracket 12 is given, then it will display integer. If type within parenthesis 12 within single quotes or double quotes, it will be considered as it's a character. It's a character or string like this. Okay, these are about Python's built-in functions. So these functions you studied in last year's syllabus. Next, some useful built-in function related to the mathematical or math module. ABS of x. ABS of x takes an integer or a floating point number as argument, integer or floating point number, and returns the absolute value of a number. If absolute of minus 12 means it gives 12 only. If absolute value of minus 12.4, it gives 12.4 only. That means if it is negative, then it returns positive. If it is positive, it returns positive only. ABS of 12.4, it returns 12.4. ABS of 12 point plus 12.4, so it returns 12.4 only. Next function is div mode a comma b. Div mode a comma b here takes two non-complex numbers as arguments and returns a pair of numbers consisting of their quotient and remainder. Quotient and remainder. So two things. So it will display two things, quotient and remainder. For integers, the result is the same as a floor division b, comma a percentage b. For floating point numbers, the result will be, first one is quotient. Here for integer a floor division b means it gives the quotient without fractional part, and in below for floating point number q, that means quotient a percentage b, so it gives the remainder. See, take this div mode example also given, div mode 7 comma 2. Here first one is quotient is 3, 7 divided by 2 means quotient is 3, and here remainder is equal to 1. And div mode 7.25 comma 2.5, So it will display 2.0 because it is floating point number. Quotient is 2.0 comma 2.25 is remainder. 2.25 is the remainder. Next function is sum iterable and sum iterable comma argument. So this function returns the sum of items of an iterable from left to right and returns the total. With two arguments, iterable and argument, it returns the sum of the items of an iterable and arguments value. And the iterables items are normally numbers and the argument value should be a number. Say sum of 2 comma 3 comma 4. So now it returns sum, so that is equal to 9. So sum of the elements of the iterable returned. Here sum of 2.5, 6 comma 4.2. So it returns 12.7. So it calculates the sum of these three things. And in case if you are using list here, sum 2 comma 3 comma 4, that is pertaining to your list, comma 5. So what happens? Sum of the elements of the iterable along with the argument value returned. Okay, these are about sum iterable and sum iterable comma argument. Next, move to the next one, max iterable, argument 1, argument 2, etc. So what happens is it returns the maximum value of the arguments given. In case here example also given, maximum of 3 and 5. So largest value is 5, so that will be displayed. See maximum of, so first one is list 3 comma 5 comma 9 comma 7 also given, it is another list. Maximum of two list arguments returned. The list that begins with a higher value is returned. Here during the first list maximum is okay, so it will take the first element. Here first element is 3, so it will check the second list. Here first element is 7, so compared to those two things 7 and 3, it will display 7 only. So 7 is the largest one. And okay, next one is maximum of 3 comma 5 comma 9 comma 10, actually it's a tuple, comma 7 comma only 7. Here is also another tuple, and in these two tuples 7 is the largest because compared to first value 7 is the largest. And maximum 3 comma 5 comma 9 comma 10, so now it will take the 10 only because 10 is the largest. And taking another tuple, maximum of 13 comma 15 comma 27 comma 10, here 27 is the largest. Next one, minimum, same thing, so it will display the minimum. Next, oct and hex integer returns octal string for given numbers, that is 00 plus octal equivalent of number. Returns hexa string for given numbers, that is 0x, so it is considered as 0x is considered as a hexadecimal number and 00 is considered as octal number. And equivalent octal hexadecimal equivalent of a number. Please note that oct, hex and bin do not return a number, they return a string representation of converted number. That will return a string representation of converted number. Here n equal to 24 is a decimal number. Octal of n, so that returns 0030. So 0 means here first digit is 0. First digit 0 means we are using octal number system, so that is considered as octal number system. And second one is O means octal number system. I mean 0O, prefix 0O, that is to represent the octal number system, 0x, that is to represent the hexadecimal number. Okay, these are about different mathematical functions. So that's it for today's session, and today we studied about, so what do you mean by namespace, and importing the entire module, and importing a particular object from a module, and we studied about the Python's processing of import module command, and we studied about a namespace. Namespace means it's a space that holds a bunch of names, and processing of import module and processing of from module import object, and we studied about, I mean, how to import the values using the temp, and then using the some built-in values also, and avoid using the from module import star, and all those things we studied. And we studied about using Python standard library functions and modules, and using Python built-in functions. Function name, just we have to specify the function name and open and close brace, and those things we studied. And Python's built-in mathematical functions we studied, so like length, power, string, int, float, range, type, ABSX function, div mode function, sum, max, minimum, and then octal number system, that means conversion octal value, decimal to octal, and decimal to hexadecimal. So all those things we studied today's session. Students, prepare your notes, and I'll send worksheet along with this video link, and submit your video link in time. Okay, we'll see you in the next session.